Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
Fans, welcome back for another day of Working Fans Presents Horror Business, episode 22, where today we are going to be talking the Rob Zombie horror movie, House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, this was his first movie. It came out in 2003, rated R, hour 29 minutes, so you know right from there that I'm enjoying it. But the budget was $7 million. Opening weekend, it brought in $3,400,000. And that was April 13th, 2003. The gross in U.S. and Canada was $12,634,962, while the gross worldwide, $16,829,545. This movie is about, on Halloween Eve, 1977, 4 friends, Bill, Jerry, Mary, and Denise, embark on an exciting cross-country road trip to write a guidebook about offbeat roadside attractions in America's less traveled roads. Before long, the young explorers chance upon Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen, only to become infatuated with the local legend of a deranged serial killer doctor and cross paths with the mysterious hitchhiker Baby. However, when the group meets Baby's eccentric family after having a flat tire, an endless night of torture, terror, and murder ensues. Has anyone ever got out of the House of a Thousand Corpses? Major actors in this film: Sid Haig plays Captain Spaulding, Karen Black plays Mother Firefly, Bill Moseley plays Otis, Sherry Moon Zombie plays Baby, Chad Bannon plays Killer Carl, William Dossett plays Sheriff Houston, Aaron Daniels plays Denise Willis, Joe Dobbs III plays Jerry Ober, Judith Drake plays Skunk Ape Wife, Grandpa Hugo is played by Dennis Fimple, Greg Gibbs plays Dr. Wolfenstein, Walton Goggles plays Steve Naish. Now, I could have thought Jerry was played by... I didn't write this down. I should have, because Rainn Wilson is in this movie before he makes it big in The Office, as well as Chris Hardwick. Now, I enjoyed this movie when it first came out, because I was always a fan of Rob Zombie's music, and when I heard he was branching into movies, I knew that he enjoyed horror movies overall, but also enjoyed art and design, because you can see it from his stage setups. This just combines the best of 70s horror, I think, with Rob Zombie's aesthetic. And, you know, it got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. I think even if you're not a Rob Zombie fan, you could enjoy this movie or find something to enjoy about it, because even though it's on the gorier side, I think they do the horror well. And one thing we do well here is the mid-show reads. So as always, we are brought to you by the Pro Wrestling Vault Volume 1 and Lance by Chance, both written by Vinnie Barry, available at WrestleVille.com. All the following books I'm going to list now are available on Amazon.com, including Super Vows and Pas de Deux, written by friend of the show, Kevin Kelton. I'll Be Here All Week. All That's Left, written by Ward Anderson, as well as his stand-up special. Blood and Fire, the unbelievable real-life story of wrestling's original Sheik, written by Brian R. Solomon. How Not to Suck at Comedy, written by Pat Oates. Matt Memories, written by John Arezzi and Greg Oliver. And if you're an artist in Connecticut looking for studio time, check out the great people over at Connecticut People Records. And if you've got some free time and you're looking for something else to watch, check out New Heights Wrestling on YouTube. Dave and I do commentary for them, and there's some great indie action coming out of Florida. But back to the movie. It's time for some fun facts, and this movie was filmed in 2000, but not released until 2003. The movie was made into a haunted house for Universal's Halloween Horror Nights in 2010 and 2019. Now, the actual house is the same used in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which came out in 1982, which can be viewed during Universal Studios Tram Ride. However, during filming, Universal refused to stop the tram tours, which delayed filming during many scenes. Mentioned it before, this is the directorial debut of Rob Zombie. A scene was cut in the robbery sequence where Spaulding pressed a panic button and it alerted Ravelli to the robbers' presence. This explains why Ravelli suddenly burst through the door in his mask. This was the film debut of Zombie's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie. Both this and the sequel are dedicated to actors who appear in the film but died before its release. The original 105-minute version of the film was screened at a film festival prior to Lionsgate obtaining it. The version briefly leaked online on a peer-to-peer website. However, it was quickly replaced by the screener. It is extremely hard to find, but the full-length version still exists. And the last fun fact I got for you is this film established Sherry Moon Zombie as a scream queen. Ironically enough, she is not into horror films as they scare her too much. And Rob Zombie's films will do that. They get more intense as they go on, but I thought this was a great one to start with. Now, tomorrow we're coming at you with the original Omen, and the day after we'll be bringing you the Omen remake. And you know that I like looking at the originals and then seeing how the remake is. Almost all the time, I prefer the original, but you'll have to tune into the Omen remake one to hear what I think about the remake. So once again, thank you for joining us. Like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you can. If we missed a horror fact, let us know in the comments. If there's a movie you'd like to see us do before October ends and we haven't gotten to it yet, let us know in the comments. We will try and get that covered for you because we're going to be kicking it up, doing a couple extra bonus reviews for you to round out the month. And guys, it's spooky season. Enjoy some horror movies. Get ready to trick or treat. I hope you got your costumes together. And as always, thank you for joining us. We will see you again tomorrow.